Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Enrique and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
In the news tonight, all 7 objections dismissed by Electoral Commission. PM reveals coup information for the first time. And Krishna Dutt explains party switch.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
The Electoral Commission has dismissed the 7 objections of candidates they received against 2 political parties. Commission Chair Suresh Chandra says while they'll publish the details of the grounds for objection and those who file the objection later, the focus now is the candidate ball draw, with 235 candidates to contest the 2018 general election. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
6 objections were filed against the Fiji First Party and 1 against all 28 candidates of the Hope Party.
At the conclusion of our deliberation and following the receipt of responses from the registered officers as well as the candidates from both parties, the Electoral Commission has dismissed all the objections.
With the nomination of candidates now finalised, the Commission Chair directing the next steps.
The Supervisor of Elections is hereby directed to prepare for the ball draw for the candidate numbers for the 2018 general election.
Issuing notice of poll, the Chair elaborating on what details to expect in the coming days.
Name, residential address, occupation, and voter number of each candidate for the 2018 general election. Number 2, addresses of all polling stations and venues established for the purpose of taking votes during polling.
The candidate ball draw will be held tomorrow from 10 a.m. and will be live on FBC TV. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
We now join Maggie Boyle, who will take us through the next significant step as we head to the general election.
Good evening, Jackie. Well, nominations have been confirmed. The objection and withdrawal period now done and dusted. Effectively, we have 235 candidates heading to the polls come the 14th of next month. Now, a significant aspect as we head to the polls is the candidate ball draw. This primarily happens given the fact that we have more candidates than there are seats being contested. So we have 51 seats this time around. And if you remember, in 2014, we had 50 seats. This time around, 51 seats being contested by 235 candidates. Tomorrow, of course, the candidate numbers will begin from 508, excluding 666. This will go up to 743. These numbers, of course, allocated to the 235 candidates. There will be a random draw by a person who will be blindfolded. Now, the candidate ball draw is happening tomorrow. It will be live on FBC TV from 10 a.m., which is when you'll all be tuning in. And, of course, by that time, we'll also find out what 3-digit number will represent each candidate. Jack.
Thanks so much for that update, Maggie. Prime Minister and Fiji First Leader Voreqe Bainimarama has for the first time revealed information about events that took place after the 2000 coup and why he took over the SDL government in 2006. Bainimarama made the revelations while speaking at a campaign meeting in Tailevu. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Fiji First Party leader Voreqe Bainimarama has put to rest questions about his role as military commander from 2000 to 2006.
I said no to the senior military officers who want me to be part of the interim government after the 2000 coup. I appointed the interim government, which include Garase and Rotemumu.
Bainimarama says a majority of the interim government members led by Garase later formed the SDL party, which eventually became the elected government. But he says despite being reminded by the military not to create a split in the country, the SDL continued with the same religious and ethnic differences which were propagated in 1987 and 2000.
After they were in government, what we noticed is that they continue to tolerate ethnic differences. And we believe that if they continue as a government, the political upheaval of 87 and 2000 will happen again.
The Prime Minister says he was forced to persuade the military to take over the SDL government and completely change Fiji's political landscape for the better due to the rising racial tension and division in the country.
That is the sole reason why the RFMF agreed with me to take over the SDL government, because we need to do it for the betterment of our country.
Bainimarama says his vision to unite every race and religion in Fiji still lives on today, adding he will ensure that political upheavals and injustices of the past will not happen again. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Fiji First Leader Vorenge Bainimarama claims National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad has never once stood up to fight against racist attacks coming from the other parties, especially SEDELPA. Bainimarama says this was evident in Parliament, and since 2014 Prasad has never said things against SEDELPA, who come up with all sorts of racial discrimination. Anna Ravulo with the story.
Speaking at a campaign meeting in Tailevu, Fiji First Leader Vorenge Bainimarama says the Indo-Fijian community deserves to know the truth about the NFP leader.
Every day in Parliament, the SEDELPA members say racial comments to the Indo-Fijian community, and no one from NFP stood up to this, not even their leader Biman Prasad.
Bainimarama says when he met with representatives of the Indo-Fijian community who were also NFP supporters in Nandi, he asked them on what grounds they voted for the NFP leader in the last election.
I asked them, why did you vote for him when he is the very person that cannot stand up for you guys? And every time we, the Fiji First Party, have to stand up in Parliament and doze off the fire of discrimination coming from the other party.
Bainimarama says this will continue as Biman Prasad will only try and use them to get votes. In his response, Prasad says it is not right for Bainimarama to make such comments to the NFP supporters.
Let me say to the Prime Minister that we do not need that convoluted lecture that he was trying to give at the Kolvutu school with respect to why people should not or should vote for the National Federation Party. The NFP for the last 55 years has always stood up for fairness, justice and equality.
Bainimarama says the Fiji First Party will continue to stand up for equality and they will not condone any form of racial discrimination. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Former Fiji Labour Party whip Krishna Dutt is urging the public to put their vote in the right place. While he is not a candidate for the 2018 general elections, Dutt has announced his support for the National Federation Party. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
After 30 years with the Fiji Labour Party, politician Krishna Dutt has changed his stance and is now showing public support for the National Federation Party.
I'm not a candidate, but I'm supporting the National Federation Party because I think this is the party of the future.
Dutt reveals that he joined the NFP brigade due to its leadership, its moderate stance, as well as its policies. Dutt left the Fiji Labour Party in 2012 along with 4 others following differences with their leader. Since then, he has been taking a backseat when it comes to politics.
I had a choice. Fiji First wanted me to be with them. Unity Fiji wanted me to be with them. Whole party also has expressed through someone else a desire to have me with them. But I decided to support the new National Federation Party.
Dutt believes all elections campaigns are now targeted towards changing the leadership of this country, a stance the National Federation Party is preaching strongly.
The fact is this is a time for change. We need a change, everybody wants a change.
Dutt is part of the NFP elections campaign team currently holding political rallies around Wanolevu. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Still to come, low pressure system to bring more rain. And Rambuka trial resumes tomorrow. Details after the break.
Bula neva ngo malakai leloma ngo ngai nakas on do rong nam bula fem nam bandu ay na sere
oya o vasit sai se lambasa ya on do teleta no warong nam bula fm nam bandu ay na sere
gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka taleta kina na warong nam bula fm nam bandu ay na sere
wana nam tuma nam bula fm nam bandu ay na sere no
Na vengo fane na tau nengo singatoka. Kita ndo talita ka ng Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Rainy weather and strong winds we have been experiencing are expected to continue until the weekend. The Nandi Met Office says a flood alert remains in force for all low-lying areas and areas adjacent to small streams and rivers in the central and eastern divisions. Meanwhile, due to heavy downpours, 24 roads are closed in the central division, as well as 3 roads in the northern and 6 roads closed in the western division. The FRA has also closed a few crossings and bridges in the country and is advising the public to take extra caution. The trial of SEDELPA leader Sitiveni Romboka has been adjourned to tomorrow by the Suva Magistrates Court. In court today, FICAC's lawyer asked for more time to issue their skeleton closing submission to the defence. The magistrate agreed to the request. Meanwhile, Romboka's lawyer says he indicated to FICAC an agreement to send them a copy of the skeleton closing submission today so the Queen's Counsel can reply. Romboka was charged by FICAC under Section 24 of the Political Parties Registration, Conduct, Funding and Disclosures Act of 2013. He is also charged with 1 count of breaching his bail conditions. His case will be called again at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. The National Apprenticeship scheme is currently under review. The review is to enable the 45-year-old scheme to meet the current and future demands of the construction industry. Sanian Imboila reports.
A national task force will review the National Apprenticeship scheme and prepare a policy paper for the government.
We are now at maybe at the last phase now. We are now preparing a document not to be sent to the various ministries for them not to be able to decide on the future for these apprentices in Fiji.
Fiji Higher Education Commission Director Linda Amua says changes in the industry and the education system has prompted the need to review the scheme.
About integrating it into the secondary school system so that the proposed industrial arts or areas that students are actually interested in, that this can actually be integrated into the secondary school so that there's a pathway to further training, and it could be through a technical college. So it's about giving alternative pathways to the students.
The task force will deliberate more on their recommendations and policy options based on initial findings from the review report before making the final submission to the Education Minister. The scheme was established in 1963. Sainian Imboila, FBC News.
The United Nations Development Programme today signed a memorandum of understanding with the academic institution and stakeholders as partners to deliver the Fiji Ridge to Reef project. The project aims to help sustain the ecosystem and will also help achieve the Zero Hunger global goal. The approach will help conserve water, land, forest, biodiversity and coastal resource management. The MOU was signed in Suva between Fiji Locally Managed Marine Areas Network, Worldwide Fund for Nature Pacific, the Pacific Islands Rainforest Foundation and USP's Institute of Applied Sciences.
The project was developed with the intention to maintain and enhance Fiji's ecosystem goods and services through integrated approaches to land, water, forest, biodiversity and coastal resource management, contributing to poverty reduction, sustainable livelihoods and climate resilience.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, 25 schools part of the Fiji Primary Football IDC at Churchill Park in Lautoka. But before that, here's Akusita Tale with all the day's business updates.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break, Glass and Metal Art exhibition opens. And in growing Fiji, no sorry, TLTB office reopens. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic.
Leading business tonight, the second glass and metal art exhibition being held at the Grand Pacific Hotel in Suva aims to showcase how artwork can lead to a successful business. Hot Glass Fiji director Alice Hill says there are many craftspeople in the country and such platforms can encourage them to use their skills to generate income. Kelly Vadala reports.
Fiji's nature and resources have contributed to the ideas behind some of these artwork, which is a collaboration of Hot Glass Fiji and Imagination in Metal.
I think it's really important for an artist to show their work and to have an opportunity to display their work to people. It makes you grow as an artist. You get good feedback and you get a good real understanding of where you're going with your artwork. It also inspires you to create more work, and also in a commercial sense it keeps us going.
Alice Hill says there's been huge demand from the public for more of these unique pieces.
Price range from about $200 up to about $8,000. Depending on the size of the piece and the amount of work that's gone into that piece, depends on the price.
Imagination in Metal owner and sculptor Shane Bower says it's important to show people the inspiration behind each artwork.
The employees that I bring in, they come straight from school, and I teach them myself. The artistic side of it is in the blood from my mother's side.
The 7-day exhibition officially opened in the last hour. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Tourism Ministry needs to capitalize with the ever-growing digital advancements. This was highlighted by Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya while opening the World Tourism Day seminar in Rakiraki today. Koya told the participants that not only new tools are needed but also new capacities and ways of thinking so we can capitalize on Fiji's position as a regional hub. The minister stressed the need for stakeholders to be more connected. The seminar was also to provide micro, small and medium tourism operators information on the changing global trends.
Like tourism, technology is very dynamic and equally vibrant, and it is essentially about connecting people and places, and today digitization has left no segment of the travel ecosystem untouched.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the currencies market.
The Forex market today was generally upbeat, given a partial recovery in European and US equities. Although the European market was fairly quiet, the US data was on point and once again positive. This should keep the US dollar in good shape for now. Next up for the US is their Federal Open Market Committee meeting minutes, and in the background traders are still dealing with continuing US-China trade war rhetoric and geopolitical strains. On the macroeconomic data front, New Zealand global dairy prices fell for the 5th time in a row, dipping 0.3%. Meanwhile, in Australia, the Reserve Bank's Deputy Governor said that the employment rate might need to increase to generate faster wage growth. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Now on to the exchange rates. Overnight, the Fiji dollar rose against the Chinese yuan, the US greenback, and also made gains against the kina, the euro and the yen. However, it was down slightly against the currency of our two major trading partners, Australia and New Zealand. Now looking at the commodities market, oil prices were up slightly at just below $72 a barrel. Gold ended its climb, a drop to $1,222 per ounce, and silver closed down at $14.61 an ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, a new TLTB sub-regional office has reopened in Ausori to provide services to landowners and leaseholders in the wider area of Tailevu, Rewa and Aitasiri. The office last served the public in 1999 before it was shut down by the then government. But Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says this brings a new slate of services. The closure of the office nearly 2 decades ago disappointed many, as it meant they'll have to travel to Suva to access TLTB services.
We've been able to fund the opening of this new office because my government has put Fiji and our economy in a strong financial position to do so. Here, our landowners will find all the services they need.
Landowners will be able to apply for survey instructions, access lease documentation, be able to receive lease rental payments and handle registrations for the equal distribution of land monies.
And when they are ready to lease their land, this office will advise them on the business side of making that happen and answer any queries and any questions they may have.
Bainimarama also launched the new TLTB website www.tltb.com.fj.
This is also the first time we've fully translated our official website into the Itoke language to make ourselves fully accessible to all those who are seeking our service or who need to get in touch with our staff.
The Prime Minister also distributed grants under the Seed Fund Grant initiative that is aimed to encourage agricultural projects. And that's a wrap from the business desk. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Akasita, and good evening. In sports tonight, Flying Fijians receive preparation grant ahead of Europe tour. And Albert Miller joins Fiji Paralympic Association. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm a Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Kritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The National Sports Commission handed over the first installment of a grant to the Fiji Rugby Union to prepare the Flying Fijians for the World Cup. As revealed by the FRU, the installment, which covers expenses for its Europe tour next month, comes with the condition that the team performs to expectation. Vasnil Prasad with the details.
Today's $300,000 check from the National Sports Commission is part of $1.4 million set aside for the Flying Fijians as they prepare for the World Cup in Japan next year.
This is an important round of funding. It's part of an overall grant that the Commission has put aside at the request of Fiji Rugby.
FRU CEO John O'Connor says the team needs to perform well in the test matches next month in order to receive more cash in future.
That's one of the criteria government is putting on sporting organizations that grant as a return, teams must need to go out there in the field and perform.
The Flying Fijians play Scotland, Uruguay and France in the 3 test matches next month. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Australia National Rugby Championship title holder Queensland Country will have to dig deep this weekend to keep alive its hope of defending its title. The England Women's Sevens team is confident of making a better start to this season's World Rugby Series beginning in Colorado, USA on Sunday. Former Fiji Athletics Administrator and coach Albert Miller has joined the Fiji Paralympic Association as a development officer. Miller, also a former Olympian, hopes to use his knowledge and experience to take the association to greater heights. Here's Vasnil Prasad.
Albert Miller is a well-known figure when it comes to athletics, and his experience will surely pay dividends to the Fiji Paralympic Association in future.
My first and foremost is trying to get our committee set up and get our coaches set up and our resources and support system.
Miller has mapped out a plan and is also hoping to introduce new Paralympic sports in Fiji.
For example, sitting volleyball. I mean, this is probably one of the easiest that we can recruit and we can organize.
The association also received a major boost today with Fiji Water coming on board as one of its major sponsors.
We're really delighted that you're partnering with the committee in taking para sports.
A major official sponsor of the Paralympic team in Fiji in preparation for 2020 in Tokyo.
The journey towards the 2020 Games has begun as the Paralympic athletes prepare for the qualifiers in coming months. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Attorney General Ayaz Syed Kayum is calling on parents to support their children as much as they can when they take part in sporting events. Speaking at the Fiji Primary School's IDC in Lautoka, Syed Kayum says parents and teachers play a vital part in the development of any sport at the grassroots level.
These teams actually do well when they're able to develop people at a young age. It's also very critical for us to understand the teachers and also the parents play a very pivotal role to take them to the football games, to help them with the coaching and give them the encouragement.
Usain Bolt has questioned why he received a notice to take a drug test from Australia's anti-doping authority, stating he is not a professional footballer yet. Matima Tonga and the Kangaroos got a taste of this weekend's test match at Mount Smart Stadium, facing off in a game of fortnight. Players from both teams lined up against each other to shoot it out in the popular online game. And our play of the day, Afghanistan's Hazratullah Zazai became only the third batsman to hit 6 sixes in an over. It happened in a T20 match for Kabul's Wanan against Balk Legends in the Afghanistan Premier League. That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful segment later on, a look at how climate change could affect the production of beer. Find out more after the break.
Nalang golesenya, Obama kita nakas, dorong-rong bin nakabe, on radio Fijuan, nandomo bit.
Ayaw benyana, kita barong on radio Fijuan, nandomo bisi, hindi natoka.
Guado ilaisa ingatoka, rong-rong bin na heramakawa ina Radio Fiji One hingatoka.
Radio Fiji One, non domo viti.
In your media tonight, the all-new Palmer is here and it's tinier than ever. Exclusive to Verizon, it syncs to your primary smartphone and acts as a secondary device with features to help you disconnect from technology. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you had a great day at work, at school or wherever you may have been, even though the weather was not favorable. Also note, a flood warning is in effect for low-lying areas adjacent to the Waimanu and Nangali rivers in Netasiri. High water levels are being recorded, so use extreme caution. A high wind warning is also in effect for most areas. Taking a look in the west, quite overcast with intervals of showers, and there is high chances of flash flooding in low-lying areas. Eastwards from Pekhabarasuva, very windy with some of heavy showers. And up north, rainy as well with more showers expected in all areas of the nation. At sea, easterly winds 25 to 30 knots, very rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 1:13 a.m. with low tide at 7:45 a.m. Sunrise at 5:35. For tomorrow, no sign of sunshine, which means we have to deal with more showers. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will hit 29 degrees. And looking further on to Friday, it's the rainy season. More rain ahead us, and so do take care and keep safe. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji on Pulse tonight, we asked, are you looking forward to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex visit to Fiji?
Yes, I'm really looking forward for their coming, and because this is the first time for me to see them like in face to face.
Oh yes, I can't wait to see them next week.
Of course, I'm looking forward to meet him.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward for their visit.
Oh yes, I want to really meet Prince Ed.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, experts now say that extreme weather brought on by a changing climate could put beer on the endangered species list. Recapping the main stories for tonight, all 7 objections dismissed by Electoral Commission. PM reveals coup information for the first time. And Krishna Dutt explains party switch. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, are you happy with the caliber of candidates contesting the election? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Rebecca Mue. The beautiful moment was captured at Suva Point. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us by Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe, stay warm. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नम्बुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नॉर्थ मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।